Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Lasota.
What's up?
What's up, dude? So, Kyle, let's throw it back.
Okay, let's throw it back. Let's go back.
Circa 1980-something. I'm just going to guess.
I wasn't born.
Circa 1990-something.
Yeah.
And what part of California are you from?
The Bay Area.
The Bay?
Yeah.
When you got off, did you take the school bus to school?
Yeah, a few times.
A few times?
Yeah.
So let's say you're in elementary school, because we're going to chunk this up.
Okay.
Elementary, middle, high school. What was your feeling when you went back into your home after a day of school in elementary school? Do you remember that house? Remember that house?
Yeah. Same house.
Same house.
Yeah, my parents still live in the same house.
Both parents?
Mm-hmm, both parents.
Okay.
I was usually excited, oftentimes because I would get food when I came home, and then I'd watch a show, or I'd go play or do something. Yeah. Godzilla.
I used to watch Transformers.
I used to watch a lot of Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
I was like obsessed with that. And then I watched a lot of Discovery Channel, National Geographic, like Steve Irwin, like Shark Week, like that type of thing. I was really into sharks and like animals and like, yeah. That was my jam.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
A typical young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like the adventure stuff.
Yeah.
So you're growing up and you're liking what you got going on in the household. You got brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah, one brother.
One brother. He's older.
Yes.
You said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cameron.
Yeah. Where's he at?
He's back at home with mom and pops.
What's he doing out there?
Entrepreneur? He day trades.
Day trades.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is he living with your folks?
Yeah, he is. He has had a tough time. Yeah, he's had a really tough time.
So he's finding his way. Okay.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Okay. Happens, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to, did you notice your parents ever getting into like scuffles as a kid?
Scuffles?
Yeah. Are there
like arguments?
Arguments as a kid?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did that, do you think that impacted you anyway at such a young age?
I think everything impacts us when you're young, like a lot.
A lot.
But I can't really connect to how that's translated into my life now, per se.
How did they talk to you as a kid?
Dude, my parents are so supportive.
They're supportive?
So, like, literally, there's like, Kyle, you can do anything. You're so smart.
Yeah.
Like, you're not like all the other kids. Like, you have so much capability. Like, my dad would always tell me something every time I left the house. He'd go, Kyle, like, and he would say it in a tone that would, like, make me feel like I did something wrong. And he would be like, Kyle. And I'd be like, what? Just remember. And I'm like, remember what? Use your powers for good. It was like this.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like this, but it was like every night I left the house, like that he would say that to me. And I think it instilled in me this sense that that I was like special, or that I was unique, or I had power within me, influence, and a lot of capability. So the way I tell everyone about my parents is like, dude, I had the most supportive family, and they gave me total and complete agency. So they basically just said they had like 2 rules, or like 3 rules, I think. Number 1, no drunk driving. Number 2, don't get caught by the cops. Number 3, we want to know where you are. Other than that, it was the most epic way to grow up. And
I can tell you really grew up like that.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
And my parents spoke belief into me. So the way that my conversations with them and the way that I grew up is they would always let me know that whatever I wanted to do, I could be really good at.
You heard that, parents? See how that impacts your kids? Being positive around them, telling them good things? Yeah. How would you describe your dad?
He is introverted, nerdy, goofy, and Midwestern.
How would you describe your mom?
She is artistic, creative, loving, nurturing, and overbearing.
How so?
She just smothers a little bit with love. In a good. It's not a super negative thing. It's just
Kyle, get over here.
Yeah, she just loves her kids so much.
Yeah. 2 boys.
Yeah, 2 boys.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, did you ever get in trouble when you're in elementary school? See, now here's something I'm gonna share with you. I ask this question all the time.
Yeah.
And very rarely, more than you think, though,
Yeah.
people say no. And then no in middle school and no in high school.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm like, dude, how do you not get in trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, what does that even mean?
I was constantly getting in trouble.
And what were you, because things you were saying, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's things I was saying. I was a class clown type of guy. And then also in middle school, me and my friend Ben and a few other friends, like we used to make these. I started making videos when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Or earlier, grade school. So we had like a camcorder. I was making home movies with my brother and his friends and stuff like that. And then with my friends, I was always the one making the video and like editing it. Because we were in middle school, we got laptops. We were like the first class to get laptops.
You kidding?
Yeah. I had a...
Wait, they just gave you a laptop?
Yeah.
Your school did?
Yeah, school did. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was like the first year that was like a thing,
Okay.
So how old are you?
35.
35. So like, yeah, you're like a few years senior to my brother. So it would have been like, yeah, a little bit before your time. Like 5 years later, kids started getting like laptops and stuff. So
Okay.
I would edit. There was this thing on our laptops. It was a MacBook, like the original like iMac laptop thing, and it was
Right.
came pre-installed.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would take these videos that we would shoot, which were kind of like Jackass, like our own version of like Jackass, right? And I would put them on my computer, and I would edit them, and that's when I fell in love with making videos, because I would drop into a flow state and I would edit for like 5 to 6 hours and like forget to eat, and like time would slow down or time would be non-existent, and I would just be there and I would be like making these edits, and I was in such a zone. And I didn't know what a flow state was at the time, but like that's definitely what was happening. The ADHD thing maybe was kicking in, where I like locked into something and I was like, oh, wow, I'm immersed in this thing, super present. And dude, I don't know about you, but when I'm really present, I'm super happy. When I'm thinking about the past, I'm depressed. When I'm thinking about the future, I'm anxious.
Presence is peace.
It is peace, right?
Yeah.
You're just here and now. Like, let's go, right?
That's exactly right.
So I had all these videos on my computer, and my friend, we had made this long Jackass style video, and there was this segment where my friend was like freestyle rapping. His name was Ben, and Ben was he had this rap where he basically was talking about what can I say on this podcast?
Whatever you want.
Okay, he was basically talking about fucking the vice principal's wife in the ass, like in this freestyle rap, and so they occasionally would bring our computers in to like update them and like fix them and stuff like that. And so they took in all the laptops, right? And then like a week later, they called me into the office and they're like, hey, Kyle, like they sat me down and they're like, is there anything on the laptop we should know about? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh crap, like I had LimeWire on my computer and I had like all these like download things. And maybe my friends like pulled up some porn or something on my laptop, right? Because we used to like in the middle of the class, like when someone would go to the bathroom and run to their laptop, open up some porn, and then like close it, but not all the way. And then when they open it, there's like they'd like freak out.
Of course.
Yeah. It's just a classic, right? So I was like, oh my god, like maybe I forgot to delete something, or maybe they looked at the history and I didn't like clear the cache or like something, And I just looked at him because I ran through like a list of things, and I just looked at him and go, no, there's nothing on there. And then
Dead fish face like this. No.
and then they're like, okay, Kyle, what's this? And they like turn the laptop around and they hit spacebar to play the video. And there's my friend saying like, and we be fucking Miss Gugliassi in her Aussie, and like. And I'm just like, as soon as I see this, like my heart just sinks, dude. I'm just like, oh god,
no.
So I ended up getting suspended from school, and they like deleted all my videos, and my friend got suspended too. So like stuff like that would always be happening, So.
Dude, they went home to their wives and spouses saying, this kid made this rap video. It's
so funny, right? Yeah, totally. And my parents, bless them, they didn't even they didn't get mad at me. They didn't ground me. They're like, this is ridiculous. Like, they shouldn't be suspending you. You guys were joking. You know, it's
a joke. It's
not a
comedy.
it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And they were pissed that they deleted all my videos because I had other videos on there that I had worked really hard on. So,
Your art project.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that is, I think that's another perfect example of like just how my parents parented, of like, they were always on my side, making sure that I knew like what's right from wrong, you know, even if they didn't explicitly say that, but they really reassured me like, hey, you're not in the wrong here, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's freaking great to have that support, man. I remember growing up, anytime I did anything half wrong, I'd get freaking ridiculed. That.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, that militant. Like,
upbringing.
Like anything slight halfway to the left.
Wow.
Like, what the Yeah.
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 None of that for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Has that ever backfired by chance? Have you ever felt like maybe they give you too much liberty?
No, I think the only thing as an adult, like, I can connect to that maybe it falls into that vein a little bit is like, I feel like I would want more closeness. Like, now that I'm an adult, like, it's just like things have changed in a sense of like, they just always trust that I'm good. You know, they're like, Kyle will figure it out. Like, Kyle's got it. Like, you know, he's very capable and all that stuff. And sometimes I feel that I don't really feel this, but like the inner child Kyle is like, man, like, I want more attention, you know, like I want some more, like, you know, but
maybe more admiration.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Because you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the peaks.
Yeah. And they're super proud, and they tell me that too. And like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not like they don't do that. It's just like, I think it's just naturally, like, as a child, like the child version of yourself, I was always like looking for like, how can I get more love? How can I,
even though you might consciously know you got enough.
Yes.
It's just the subconscious saying more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on. Keep going with middle school a little bit here.
Middle school.
Yeah. What other kind of stories you got from you getting in trouble?
I think so. It's not really getting in trouble per se, but it's more causing mischief. Yeah.
Tell us what you did.
Me and my friends used to sneak out a lot. So we'd sneak out and we go TP people's houses or egg their house or sometimes, here's a great one. One time we had these airsoft guns, like really legit, like they look like real weapons.
They're all black.
Yeah. And they're like electric powered. So it's not just like the air, you know? And there was this road in this town that I lived in that was like, it was like the main road in and out of this town. There's only like this one road and it comes around a big bend and there's a hill above the bend. And me and my friends, like dressed in all black with this big black guns, basically set up, like we laid prone on the top of the hill. And as a car would drive by, we'd light the car up with airsoft BBs. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and hear it hit the window like ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And like we were having the time of our life just like shooting these cars, right? And they'd freak out. The cars would freak out, of course, right? And then one time there's a car coming and we do it like not too much because it's just like, I don't know, it just felt like the right amount, you know? Yeah. And then one time we're like, dude, fuck it, like let's load it up, you know? And then we just unloaded on this car and it like slammed on the brakes. And it's in the middle of the night, right? And guy gets out of the car, he starts shining a flashlight everywhere. And then we're like frozen, like just prone on the top of the hill.
Your eyes just big.
Yeah, dude. So we're like, okay, do not move. Whatever you do not move. So he gets back in the car and then he leaves. And then we stay and, you know, shoot a couple more cars. I think a few minutes later, that car comes back with like a bunch of police cars. And we're like, oh. So then we get up and we bolt. But the thing is, like this road or the hill is on the backside of this road. There's another street behind it. And the behind street, it's kind of like so we're kind of trapped because the cops are now coming up the hill to like search the surrounding areas, and there's only one way out, right?
Yeah.
There's only one way out. So what we ended up doing, because we saw the cars coming up our road, is we ran into this person's yard, and they had like ivy front yard, like tall ivy. Yeah. So we just laid down in the ivy with the weapon, the guns right next to us. We laid down in the ivy, so the ivy's like
a little high.
Yeah, it's above our body.
Yeah.
And we laid there for a few hours while the cops were searching around with their flashlights and stuff like that. So we literally waited till like 5 a.m, and then we like sprinted back home. Dude. Yeah. So there's stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that.
I remember one time I took a snowball and I compacted it for like 20 minutes and it was moist.
Yeah, I already know where this is going.
Yeah, it was on the side of the street in a snowstorm. So people were driving like 10 miles an hour on a steep, windy road. So just going, bro, I freaking lined up this Jeep and I went, bam! I used to play baseball, so I threw the crap out of that thing. And then, no kidding, like 20 minutes later, the same exact Jeep came back the other way. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get him again. So I took that thing, another hard-ass snowball, bam, smoked it on the side, and it made this super loud noise. But then they parked and got out. And they looked super gangster, had these big poofy, dragons, like, yo, I'm going to kill you. And dude, they came around the corner of this building, and it was a hill right there. And I was like, oh my God, I'm running, dude. And I was like, I felt like I was going to die because my heart was racing so fast. I was like, oh shit. But, yeah, mischief for no good reason.
Tons of mischief.
Like, why? Yeah, so fast forward to high school. When did you get your first girlfriend? When did you have a girlfriend?
Freshman year.
Freshman year?
Yeah.
So you're in high school, you get this girlfriend. How'd that impact your life?
Dude, where I'm going. This is so obscure. But it was impactful in the sense that I really, this girl from science class, she liked me, I liked her. We kissed at the dance.
What dance?
Right? Like the back to school dance.
Homecoming.
No, back to school.
So it's the same thing, or is that different?
It's different, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
So we back to school dance, we kiss, and
really?
Then we started hanging out. She'd come over to my house. I would go to her house. And then, dude, I told her, like, hey, like, I love you. And then she ended it. I was like, damn. And then she hooked up with one of my best friends. And I was like,
double damn.
Damn. So that crushed me, man, back then. But
how do you think that impacted your relationships? Because that was your first one.
You know what? It's funny you bring this up. Maybe I put some protection around my heart after that. Yeah. And I think for a little while too, I think I've cleared this now though, but I think for a little while too, I didn't trust to bring a girl that I liked around my friends because I'm like, oh, like, I don't know if my friends are going to like betray me.
Try to holler.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really have that now, but, like, that's not an issue for me now. I completely wholeheartedly trust my friends, but maybe the protection around the heart stuff is still impacting me a little bit.
So you ditched that broad.
Yeah.
Because you had to.
Yeah.
Time for her to go.
Yep.
What was high school like for you?
Dude, so fun.
Why was it fun?
It was so fun. I had so many friends and we partied hard and it was just like freedom, man. Total freedom.
Thinking about your 5 best friends in high school, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy, Joey, Johnny, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Whoever these guys are,
yeah,
or girls, are they where you are at, and as far as energetical success?
No, definitely not.
None of them?
None of them. In fact, I don't talk to any of my high school friends anymore. Yeah. Which is really sad because actually that's not true. I talked to maybe 1 or 2 of them, but they're not in the same, like.
They're not in the same mindset. They're not in the same trajectory.
No.
They're stagnant.
Yeah.
Or going down.
Or like, I mean, it's not really for me to judge. They're just living a life that I just wouldn't choose to live. And I always, so the interesting thing about my high school is, so I used to smoke, right? I started smoking weed when I was 14, yeah, 14, and maybe even earlier than that, 14. I started drinking too around that time.
Where's the first time you ever smoked weed? Your house?
No, at my friend David's house out of an apple. Okay. Yeah. And I had, in freshman and sophomore year, I smoked a lot, and my parents found my weed, and they found my scale, and they found my bags and all that stuff, and they didn't get me in trouble again. And they basically just said, we're not mad, we're just disappointed, which is the worst, right? And then they said, we're also not going to get you in trouble. We're just really concerned. We're just like really worried about you. You're really young. Like your brain is still maturing. You're still developing. Like we'd prefer if you just waited. And
because they understand they can't control. They can't.
They can't.
If you want to do it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And if the more pull there is from both ends,
yeah,
bang, goes the rubber band.
So because they did that, I quit smoking. So, I started early and I quit early. And when I quit smoking, I lost all my friends because that's how we spent our time together. And so when that happened, I had to rebuild my friend group.
Yeah.
And so I rebuilt my friend group with completely different people. And it centered more around like drinking and like partying and that kind of thing versus being like a stoner. And that was so much fun, so much more fun. And eventually, later on down the road, my sophomore year in college, I would quit drinking. And then I would lose all my friends again.
That's crazy, dude. That is something else.
And so what I learned early on, because this happened in middle school too, like I just decided that I just wanted to make more friends and different friends.
Yeah.
And I just got really good at making friends and like entering into a circle. And then like becoming a part of the circle. I was the type of person where I'd hang out with anyone. Doesn't matter if you were part of the cool kids or if you're the artsy one or if you're the nerd in the debate class or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like as long as I vibed with you, like we would hang out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't always hang with everyone together because high school was kind of cliquey, but I would make time independent, all these cliques to spend time with all these people that I was vibing with. And so that created a very rich high school experience because I had this spectrum of like I could go out and party, or I could go on a hike and take photography with photo kids, or I could play video games with my neighbor across the street.
I played drums with a musician.
I never played good music, but it allowed me to basically have a breadth of experience with different types of people too.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I always made sure to have friends in all different
circles.
I never sat at the same lunch table for more than a week.
Yeah.
I'd always bop around.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything traumatic happened to you in high school?
No, man. High school was really great. It was really great. Like just so much fun. I played, I was a wrestler and I did varsity wrestling, varsity lacrosse, and I had a lot of friends and I trained hard and I played hard and I got decent grades and I fell in love with photography. I became obsessed with photography. That's when I really picked up a real camera and started like playing with settings and like TA'd the photo class. I took AP photo, like that was a big part of high school was like sports and photo. And then friends and socializing and having fun and going out and exploring.
So you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Still an athlete?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, working out 2.5 hours on sprints, but not runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're fast.
I'm getting there. I'm relearning how to be an athlete.
What's your biggest skill and when it comes to athletic space? Is it agility? Is it speed? Is it strength?
I don't know, man.
Balance?
I don't know. I think what I'm good at is learning. So if I get a structure and like a sequence to follow, I'll pick it up really quickly. And I'm a pretty good, like I said before, when I find something I like, I obsess over it. I learn as much as I can. I try to apply it as much as I can. I'm not necessarily super strong or super fast or anything like that, specifically right now because I'm like building up.
Yeah.
I was like, it's more, I'm in the process of just trying to actualize my physical potential. And that's just what my focus is.
And something tells me that you're really good at being focused.
I am, and I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Get it?
Yeah.
I covered this a little bit before.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the big picture here.
Okay.
Okay. Because it seems like you had a pretty fun upbringing.
Super fun.
Supportive parents.
Yeah.
Right. What's the kind of message that you want to be known for? What kind of being do you want to be known for from the people that
like the people like in my personal life, or the people like who
by the world?
By the world?
All 8 billion people.
All 8 billion people. I don't know. I really see myself as like a self-experimenter and someone who is very much just on the path of learning. And I just do my very best to share to the best of my ability what I'm learning in the most simplified and digestible way. And I would love people to interpret me or perceive me as someone who is just doing their best, to make money, to have a good time, to make an impact, to be as healthy as I can, and to really live a lifestyle that's aligned with me. And so like one of the impacts that I joke about with my friends is like I feel like when people get around me, a couple things happen. Number one, they get healthier. Number two is they think about simplifying their business. Number three is they start thinking about how they can have more time freedom in their life. And I love designing my ideal lifestyle, putting the plan together, working at it, and then creating it, and then getting the fruit, squeezing the juice from that fruit, and really nourishing yourself in this dream that you had as it's being actualized. Because there was a time when I've always followed my dream, and except for when I was doing copywriting, and I believe the stress of being out of alignment in my life made me very ill on top of the mold stuff. And so like I just am not available for living a life that's not mine.
That's thought-provoking. You know what I'm thinking? What crossed my mind rather is we're in this culture of grind, bro. Grind. Stay hard. More, right?
Mm-hmm.
Millions. You know what, though? I think the people that I really look up to, like my buddy Mike in Florida, that dude fishes and hunts not just some, every, and he's super successful.
Yeah.
Boom.
That guy's got it.
He
figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about like people that work remote and they pop off in like a month in Mexico at a super nice Airbnb, right? And they're just chilling on the beach, right?
Yeah.
That's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's what you're kind of doing for yourself.
Yeah. For me,
right?
My version of that is like the 3-hour workout.
Yeah.
Like at any given day during the week, I want to be able to spend 2 to 3 hours at the gym.
Yeah. And just
yeah, I want like this nice warm up, maybe I do some red light therapy, some PEMF at the gym. Maybe I do a little bit of myofascial release or something. I tune into the right muscles, that I prime them before I get into the workout. Then I do the workout. Then I hit the sauna, or maybe I do like a cool down, or like I make sure everything's reconnected at the end of the workout. And then I go to the smoothie place, Juice Land, get myself a freaking smoothie, and then head home. And like I want my business to revolve around me being able to do that with zero guilt, to be able to enjoy that with my friends, ideally. That's why I love helping my friends free themselves from their businesses, so that they can come do these things with me, because it ain't no fun if the homies don't get none, right? And I want the business to keep growing, regardless of if I'm there or not.
Yeah.
And so when we ask better questions, we get better answers. And because I went through all this stuff with my health, there was a period of time where I could only work 1 to 2 hours a day. And so I asked myself the question, if I could only work, a few hours a day, how can I grow this business while maintaining and healing? When you start asking these types of questions, you get really different answers. And so now my life is a byproduct of those questions. And I always try to continue to ask really, really challenging questions that have powerful constraints. because constraints will breed creativity. And then from creativity comes innovation. And then from that innovation, you can have basically anything you want. Maybe not all at the same time, but I love to have my cake and eat it too. So how do we reverse engineer that?
You are an experimenter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said. That's one way of you doing it. Remember, I asked you a question a little bit ago. Remember that?
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember what it was. That's how we got to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Oh, how do you want people to know you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question you were asking.
Wow. Kyle, this is I knew we were gonna have fun today. I freaking knew it. Past 3 times we had fun. This is number 3. So how do people get a hold of you, man? Let's say they want to talk about YouTube.
Yeah.
They want to hang out, have a good time, or invite you somewhere cool.
Just hit me up on Instagram, I guess, wellnessdaddy_official, or send me an email, kyle@wellnessdaddy.com, or go to the website, wellnessdaddy.com. Jump on the newsletter. Subscribe to the channel, Wellness Daddy on YouTube. Well, I've got all the plugs going, so there you go.
Any more?
No, that's it.
What's your OnlyFans page?
onlyfans.com/wellnessdaddy.
That may or may not be real. I don't know.
JK.
Kyle, dude, thanks, bro. It's Saturday. We still got some daylight out here.
Yeah.
Let's go enjoy some sun.
Let's do it.
Folks, Greg Carlson, your host, Elite League Podcast. Till next time, stay fired up.